Hello everybody, kind of a random vlog, and I just kind of threw myself into my chair here real quick and turned on the camera. But I was wanting to potentially vlog tonight anyway, just because of the kind of day that I've had. Thought it would be nice to sit down and talk about anything and whatever. So I guess, first and foremost, why it was such a crappy day. Well, today was at work for me on Mondays is usually all about getting ready for tomorrow's movie releases. We have modulars, that's what they're called at Walmart, that determines how everything gets set up and put out on the shelves. And I'd say, I don't even remember, I can't quite retrack in my mind when I started doing it, but I'm gonna take a guesstimate that it was about 2006, maybe 2007 when I started doing that job in the electronics department at the old store that I worked at, and it's continued on to the store that I'm working at now. So 7 or 8 years I've been doing the job. It's gone beyond just being like this fun thing that I expect to get to do every Monday, and it has become a ritual. It's a part of my life. For me, it's a reward for getting through the weekend, because the weekends always suck. It's always busiest on the weekends in a retail job. Everybody's off work. Kids are out of school. It's summer now, but I mean, it's the time that everybody comes to the store. So Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are always my least favorite days. Mondays and Tuesdays are always my favorite days. Set the movie mods on Monday, get an idea of what the new stuff is that's coming out, and then the next day it's actually released, and I get to experience all the fun of the movies and the video games. But today, I got to do it today, and it's hard to explain all of this, if you don't work in the retail world, especially if you don't work at Walmart. But today, it was myself and not my department manager like normal. He's on vacation. He's in California right now. It was me and one of the newer coworkers that I have there. It was, a friend. And we had a good time today as far as getting to work together, getting to talk, me showing him the ropes on a few things. But it was super stressful because next week, when my department manager's back from his vacation, we reset the entire department. Now, it's something that usually happens every year, although it seems like in the past it had always been April or May, not middle of June. But we're getting this brand new reset in the departments called the reboot, and things are going to get moved around. There's going to be new fixtures in the movie area. We're going to have some new movie fixtures, but they're also shrinking down the amount of music that we carry, and it's going to move off of its own aisle, and it's going to butt its way into my movie section. And that's whatever. That's not the point of why the day was bad. The point of why the day was bad was because I didn't know, the entire movie section is going to be reset with this. And because of that move, it's going to shrink some areas, or maybe even delete some sections of our movies. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to do my mods today because of that move. I didn't know where it was going to go, how much product we were going to have. Without being able to reset the entire rest of the movies, would I be able to do my part? Thankfully, I was able to do it. But yesterday was Father's Day, so certain areas in the store that were dedicated to electronics in celebration of Father's Day were taken down. Pallets of televisions were kind of dumped on us. We were trying to do these mods, try to bin stuff that needed to be put up, take care of this other stuff that they dumped on us, while slowly piecing together the fact that we had no department manager, nor the other two tiers of managers over us. Both of those people were off today. In our cell phone section, the person who was supposed to close didn't show up. We don't know why. He's supposed to go on some sort of a trip to Bentonville, which is, in like the heart of Walmart country. But he apparently was supposed to do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so nobody could figure out why he didn't show up. There really wasn't a closer scheduled for Photo Center. It was one of those kind of days. So my friend and I, we did the best that we could. We put away some of the stuff. We couldn't get to the TVs. We didn't get all the movie stuff done because we're assuming it's going to have to wait till next week. It was stressful on me. I don't know. Without my department manager there, who, God bless him, he does the best that he can do. He gets all that stuff piled onto him. Even my long-term associates like me who know that, gosh, my routine is the movie mods. I rely on him for all that other stuff. He takes a lot of the crap. He has to take the brunt of it because he's the department manager. I mean, it's part of the job. But when he's not there, man, I don't want that shit. Just because I may have seniority, Walmart's very quick to point out that seniority don't mean dick to them. So if that's the way they want it to be for us, that's the way it's going to come back for me. I'm not going to be the guy who's like, okay, I'll go do all this stuff. I'll be the department manager for the day. I tried to make sure I had stuff to do, and I've tried to make sure that a few of the things that are obvious, in my opinion, got done. But otherwise, I was like, sign me out for that. I'm not here to babysit the department when there's no management there. I'm not paid to do that, and I don't want to be paid to do that. But I was still super stressful because there will be other elements in the store, other management elements who will come along and be like, you got to do this and you got to do that. And that's when I start to feel my blood boil a little bit and the stress levels rising, because no, I don't. I do what I need to do, and I'll take care of what things I can do. But if at the end of the day not everything's done, I'm still clocking out and going home, because that place don't own me. Anyway, I didn't mean for it to become some sort of a rant video, but I had a shitty day, and got to get it out there somehow. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was I come home, I'm so freaking tired, my body is sore, these fat old bones of mine don't get the kind of physical exertion at work that I got today, having to bounce all over the place and try to do everything. So I get home, and I just want to relax, I just want to chill, I just wanted to veg out, I wanted to maybe do videos, I wanted to catch up on YouTube. It's almost 10:30 at night, and I'm sitting here trying to decide if I'm going to play some games or something, when I should probably just go to bed. And I sit down and I go through my normal online routine, which is I go to Facebook, and I go to GameFAQs, and I go to the N64 Forever forum. And of course I come to YouTube, and I check to see, what activity's going on there. Throw my videos into my watch later thing so I can go over to the Xbox now. I have to go do all my stuff through the Xbox since I can watch YouTube on it through the HD, because the HDMI output on my PS3 went out. And then I eat some dinner and sit down and watch some videos for a while and just veg out. So anyway, I got on the Facebook, and one of the first things I saw was that somebody from the world of baseball had passed away today at the age of 54. And it was Tony Gwynn. And unless you know about baseball, you probably know who I'm talking about. But this was a guy who, even though he played for a team that wasn't really like one of my favorites, played for the San Diego Padres, he played for the Padres his entire career. Turned down probably very lucrative contracts with lots of, very competitive teams to stay in San Diego because, as at least somebody on ESPN said, pretty much because he and his family loved to live there, and that was home. So He never played for another team. It's such a rare thing. I mean, he retired in 2001, which I couldn't believe. I was like, it's already been 13 years since he left the game. It feels just like yesterday. But Tony Gwynn was just an amazing hitter, like pure natural hitter. Not a guy who was trying to, swing for the fences. He was not a guy who was trying to be flashy. But he was a guy who hit like no other. Just amazing. This was a guy who, in the strike-shortened year of 1994, could have possibly finished the season batting over 400. Strike-shortened the season, and he ended at 394, but that was a magical season in a lot of ways, in a lot of good and bad ways. But anyway, Tony Gwynn, this was a guy who played for a lot of years, only played for the one team, played the game right. Like I said, wasn't super flashy, was a really nice guy, was apparently like beloved by the sports media, baseball media in particular, because he was happy, he smiled, he gave them interviews, he talked to them. So I was just really saddened to hear that he had passed away at only 54. All I could gather from the cause of death was that I hadn't heard of this, but I hadn't heard about this. It was salivary gland cancer, which on Wikipedia it says it comes from chewing tobacco and smoking, and then things like radiation therapy and or exposure to carcinogenic substances, like in the workplace or something like that. So best I can figure is that he must have chewed tobacco. Maybe he was a smoker. I would find that unusual, but the tobacco thing, it goes hand in hand with baseball. But once again, I don't want to speculate. I have no idea, and it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is a guy who, 13 years ago was still playing at a high level, and now he's gone, and it's sad. A lot of people will say, why do we lift up these celebrities and sports stars and show all this grief and sympathy when they pass away, but the guy down the street, we don't talk about how he passed away. I don't know the guy down the street. I mean, I literally don't know his name, his face, or nothing about him. Tony Gwynn I never met. I don't know him on a personal basis, but I knew who the guy who played the game was. I knew who he was through interviews. I got to know him way more than I know anybody around here who I live around. That's sad, perhaps. That says a lot about me and my social anxieties and stuff. But that's why I think a lot of celebrities and stuff get lifted up a little higher than other people. They are presented to you in some way, shape, or form. And unless you're completely cold and heartless and dead inside, you're going to find yourself with some sort of a connection to somebody out there. Musicians, sports stars, actors and actresses, whatever the case may be. So, that's my 2 cents about that. Just, rest in peace, Tony Gwynn. Thank you for what you did. Thank you for being such a great example for so many people, not only in the sports world, but just in general. A class act, and you just don't find a lot of people these days who spend their entire career in one community, turning down the big dollars to stay where he wants to be. That was pretty amazing. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. So thanks for watching another random blog, and we'll see you next time.